I'm in my car heading to Planet Fitness to get a workout in, and I was just thinking about all the different levels of compensation there are. Robert Kiyosaki came up with the cash flow quadrant. You know, on the left-hand side, you have the E for the employee and the S for self-employed. And then on the right-hand side at the top, you have a B for business owner. And in the lower right-hand corner of the quadrant, you have an I for investor. But I think you can really take that cash flow quadrant like a whole nother level. But the lowest level is you're an hourly employee working for an employer. You're really trading your time for money. And the only thing you can do if you want more money is work more hours. And you are getting paid for an hour of your time. You're not getting paid for your skill set or the value you bring to people. And then the next step up from that is if you're a salaried employee. And there's this misconception in our society that, you know, if you're salaried, you're like more important. All a salaried job is, it's just they're just trying to fool you into thinking you're not an hourly employee. You're still an hourly employee. Your schedule might flex a little bit. In most cases, you wind up working more hours and you don't get paid for those extra hours. So it actually reduces if you break up what your hourly rate would have been if you were working 40 hours a week, which is roughly 2,000 hours a year. If you get 2 weeks of vacation, you're actually working more hours. And when you divide it up, sometimes you're back to making $10, $15, $20 an hour. But a salary is just a lie, okay? You're still an hourly employee. Don't kid yourself. And then the next step up from that is, okay, you go out and you start your own business. Like maybe you're cutting grass and power washing decks and putting up gutters, right? And you own your own little handyman business, or you own a home improvement business, or you're an electrician and you got a van and you hang out your own shingles, so to speak. Well, you just own your job. You're still an hourly employee, and it's just that you own the company that's employing you. And that's what, Robert Kiyosaki was saying in the lower left-hand corner of that cash flow quadrant. If you're self-employed, you own your own job, and you own the company that's employing you, and you're your company's best employee. And the problem with that is if anything happens to you, this little venture you own is gone. And it's no different than if you're an hourly employee for a company you don't own, or if you're a salary employee for a company you don't own. If anything happens to you, the income stops. In the job-free economy and in wealth building and personal financial freedom, you want to try to work your way up to a point where if you stop working, your business keeps making money. There's people paying you fees, residual incomes, rents, royalties, or there's people working for you in your company delivering the products and the services, making the product. The company keeps its revenue going, it keeps its profits going. That's when you're a true business owner or a true investor. I was listening to Jim Rohn, and he was doing a video on the law of compensation, and he was doing affirmations in some wealth video, and he was saying that you're not truly wealthy until the passive income from your investments is actually creating more money on its own without you having to do more work. I can't remember exactly how he said it, but anyway, that's that next level up from you owning your own business, but you're the employee. Because again, if anything happens to you, that business is out of business. The next one up is where you're running the business, but there's other people making the products, selling the products, providing the service. And even in those situations, sometimes if something happens to you, the business is going to be in trouble because you're the key operator, and you're making all the strategic decisions, and you're managing and training the team and providing the support. So you're still not a job-free economy business owner to the point where if you step out, the business keeps running. And that's where you want to get to that next level where you've created enough leverage where you're just managing managers. You're not managing the frontline people doing the work. So if you go south for the winter, you can still just once a week talk to the managers. They give you a report, but the company keeps running. There's people running the company for you, and then there's people below them creating the products and the services. And then ideally, someday you've made enough cash flow from that business and bought enough investments, whether they're stocks, private loans you're doing, or real estate. And now your investments are what you do. You just manage investments, acquire more investments, buy and sell investments. You're just a full-time investor. You can sell your company. And that's when you really become wealthy, and the ball really rolls downhill. So that's all those levels of income.